52% of the banks have actually
Every single bank has something to do with AI itself.
Yes.
But it seems like a lot of the AI projects are still in pilot stage. It's not exactly on being scaled. Is that even a right observation?
banks have moved on from experimenting to deploying AI at scale. So there was a recent research we did with MIT where 52% of the banks have actually done pilots around AI, agentic AI, and 16% of the banks had actually deployed AI at scale. Now the next phase where banks will continue to do more with AI, and we are working with them on the specific use cases and so on.
Are you seeing a lot of those use cases mainly for the internal use cases? So what are you seeing on that front?
Banks have been using AI and Gen AI across credit risk, fraud detection, and also customer service automation. So we feel the use cases have been both internal, but they've actually been applied externally as well. And the banks who are doing it well have really invested in modern data infrastructure. So they have interoperable data platforms, they're able to break through the silos, and they're able to think through from a customer's perspective what would add value, both for the customer as well as the bank.
And then for those banks who have yet to scale, apart from, let's say, DBS, OCBC, and UOB, who has been very bullish about AI stuff, what exactly are some of the roadblocks when it comes? Is it the technology piece, or is it a talent piece, or is it regulations?
Banks have, over the last couple of years, figured out really good models. So technology is not anymore the roadblock. I think it's the organizational structures which come in the way. The banks who are doing this well have built robust governance, have invested in data platforms, and are able to come up with high value use cases to get this over the line. To do all of that, you need to invest in real good talent. Singapore is ahead of many other markets is, with the MAS data and analytics grants, with a number of other national programs here around reskilling people, we are able to bring up talent and retrain people to do that. We also need a good mix of people who understand and talent who understands finance and risk. So I think talent is the real unlock here. And I think Singapore is doing a really good job.
Are you seeing most banks, not only in Singapore, but the region itself, really upskilling or reskilling their talent? Or does it seem more like they're just taking talent from the tech industry, which layoffs are happening?
It's a hybrid. So we have seen banks absolutely reskill, upskill talent because to make this valuable, you need people with a real in-depth understanding of finance, risk, credit, and so on. But we've also seen banks then add on new talent from the data analytics spaces to just power this up as well.
Which areas do you think is very much needed right now?
To really be able to scale AI, banks and the financial services sector would need to invest in data platforms. We need clean, connected, and governed data. And the risk of not doing that is we will have biased outcomes, we risk fragmentation, and ultimately we risk losing the trust of customers and the regulators.
Looking ahead the next 10 decades, what do banks need to do to prepare themselves for such a future?
I think banks are doing a really good job embracing a lot of change that's coming. The large banks would need to be open to all of the pace of change. I think the pace of change is going to accelerate further. As we are seeing, the large banks are embedding a number of these things into their infrastructure and into their systems. And I think that should just continue. Are embedding a number of these things